Hello, chats. I'm here to announce two things. One, I am in heaven again. Yes, this is true. But I am here to announce two separate things. First off, the first thing is that there is a breeze coming in through my window, and oh my god, it is actually giving me life. Like, I feel amazing. It feels great. Second thing. I am being given wood, not in the good way. Sorry, second thing. Check out Lotus Atoll. I kinda can't on this account, and I don't care enough to do it on my main account. So, nah. Anyway, second thing, more importantly, I'm gonna change, so the YouTube upload schedule is going to be changing. Not in a bad way, necessarily. We're gonna have uploads every, or almost every day. That being said, series content is going to be reduced quite a lot. So stuff like this series, for example, stuff like this series, like the M7 speedrun series, is going to be going down to probably once a week. That's more because I want to be able to put a bit more effort into those videos. I had a lot of fun making the first episode, and I would like to keep all of the other ones to at least a similar quality, instead of just having to drop the quality down and keep posting every couple of days. And, well, I mean, I also had a fair amount of fun making the Bouquet of Lies video last night. So, look, I think having that balance works fine. Having series content once a week that's just significantly higher effort, and then more just dumb shit videos throughout the week, I think should work better. No, we're not going to have more drunk posts. Thank you very much. I mean, maybe we will, actually. I don't know, man. Oh, bro, like, there is wind coming in through there, and it's almost seductive. It's almost seductive. It's so good. It's actually so good. It is so good. It's like, whenever I get too hot, a little bit of a breeze just comes in from the side, and oh my god. Oh my god. It's so good. Why no tarantula boots? Why do you think? Why are you shirtless? I'm not. Is heaven getting brighter? It's more that I have my back door open as well right now. Or well, it's more that I have my door open. I'll donate $50. You do not have to do that. Can you get shirtless? I would rather not. I would rather not. I mean, it is that hot. But I would really rather not. Yeah, but yeah, no. It's because it's so much brighter because there's also light coming in from back there as opposed to just over there. Bro, you want? You don't have to do that. You don't gotta donate money. That's fine. That's okay. There is probably somebody else who needs it more. I'm a high tier 1. That's nice. Congratulations. W-mans. Bro actually has some... Bro's actually good at PvP. W guy. Can I send a song request in via YouTube link? I'm afraid not. The reason I use I ask you to use Spotify instead of YouTube is because of YouTube's copyright system. I do not have my audio split set up for YouTube, but I have to join my server. What? Yo, what is bro actually saying? You lost me now. What if it's a custom song? If it wouldn't cause any copyright, then sure, I guess. No, join my server, I'll donate any amount of subs. Yeah, I don't want to. I'm good, man. I'll pass. I'm alright, actually. Thank you very much. Glorified with the prime. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. My God. How's it going? How's it going? You in your room? No, it's just really bright. I have both my back door and my curtains open today because there is a breeze, and there is a breeze coming into my room. And honestly, that is actually just life. And it's amazing. Minecraft, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. And stealing from Jeff Bezos is awesome. On God. You know what? It's kind of funny that primes are actually still a thing, considering that Twitch doesn't actually make profit. Like, as a service, Twitch is technically a non-profit. They do not make Amazon money, which is quite funny. Just new camera location? No, there is no new. Nothing is new. Let me just hold on. Let me go and close my. Hold on. There's no new camera location. It's literally just that my door's open. Super hot here, I'm melting. Real. It really is, though. It really is. Some kind of big Bezos to sponsor the people's social media. Yeah, real. Trust. I do find it funny. I do genuinely find it kind of funny that Twitch just is not a profitable organization. Like, Twitch is just not profitable for Amazon at all. Hold on, I need to close the back door if I'm going to be doing this. Alright, chat, time to show off that I am the most physically talented hypixel skyblock streamer. Okay. Okay. That fucking hurts. That fucking hurts. Nope. Bro, I put my hand on a thing, and it was really uncomfortable. I put my hand on a thing. 10 push-ups, one hand only. Oh, you're cruel. Right after that. Immediately after that, you're cruel. Skyblock update? Indeed. Indeed there is. I just don't care. When stream? How to get a skyblock badge? What do you mean by skyblock badge? Bro, everything's so much more tiring when you're hot. Like, normally that wouldn't be, like, normally I wouldn't struggle even slightly with that. But good God, everything is actually just so much more tiring. I swear to God. Never Go Down by Slayer. Hold up. Never go down. Breeze. Please win me. I need it. Please win me. Come on. Please. I need the wind. What Heart of the Forest? We are Heart of the Forest 4. Skyblock updates. You should check it out. I mean, I don't really want to. I don't have the gear to check it out. I'm aware it's an early game foraging update, but I do not have... No, fishing update, but I don't have any fishing stuff whatsoever. You grind off stream? A little bit, yeah. I do play off stream. I mean, granted, I didn't play that much last night because I had other stuff to do. For example, I think we've been foraging for 4 hours total now. Yeah, just about 4 hours of total forage time. Besides, right now, anything that makes good money on that update is just purely because it's new. And I don't really want to rely on stuff like that for these. I don't really want to rely on stuff that's just only going to make money if it's new. Buy legendary lions and level them. I'm probably going to do crows. Legendary lions are just expensive. Actually, to be fair, I will look into lions once my giraffes... I'll look at both crow and lion once my giraffe's done. Once it's finished. My ping is 9 hot. Holy sh... Alright. Bro is actually John Ping. Okay. You should probably consider... I'd recommend fixing that. High ping's not very good. Oh, hold on. I'm actually sweating. Hold on. I need to open my door again. Right. Oh wait. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. I forgot how good of a fan a door can be. Yeah, I'll probably I will probably look at lions once my this giraffe is done at least. Oh, now the breeze comes in. Yeah, now it comes in. Thanks, man. Couldn't have done that like a few minutes ago when I asked, right? Surely not. No, that was just completely incorrect, right? Thanks, brother. Yes, Strand? Guess what? What? Where is it? Why am I looking in here? I need to go to you. Agatha! Hello. 3 unclaimed contests. 1 epic, 1 legendary, 1 rare. Okay, I'll claim the epic and then I'll wait for another epic. Or I'll wait for another legendary because I don't really want to... Well, I don't really want to use my legendary... Well, my last daily on an epic contest. That's disgusting. I have an AC and you don't. Yeah, well, I have a door that I can use to fan myself if I desperately need it, so... Lamau. I have 2 fans. I have thousands. Sorry. Moving on. How are we doing in Heart of the Forest? Are we close to 50% yet? We are close to 50. That's not bad at all. So what, 4 hours? 4 hours of work. And we are almost 50% of the way to Heart of the Forest 5. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I mean, granted, yeah, I started with very good gear, but... Like, that's definitely not bad at all. Over 3,000... Damn, is that it? Damn. The rest of them bots? Wait. No! The rest of them are all bots? Oh, Chad, it's over. Oh, it might be over. Is the rest... Oh. Yeah, 3K is the Twitch number and the TikTok number. All botted? I know, I did it. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That's fair enough. That adds up. Fair enough. Understandable. Understandable. Yes, Breeze, come. This stream is going to basically be about which one wins. The breeze that is gently tickling me. Or the fire of the sun. And how long I can actually last. I might have to, like, get my hair out my face or something, because it's sticking to my forehead. Fear 5 got raided by Mr. Beast, did you see? He had 15k. I'm pretty sure that's just Fear 5S's norm. Like, isn't like 90% of Fear's streams just get botted? Like, I swear to God, that guy, he gets botted the most out of anybody in the skyblock community. It's actually cooked. Like, most people get botted, I don't know, most streams get botted once every now and then. Bro gets botted thousands, like, every couple days. Bro actually gets cooked. Why is your gate to heaven open? Because it's hot, and I have everything in my house open. Yeah, bro actually gets cooked by bots. I wonder why specifically him, though. Like, the only thing I can think of is the TikTok. Like, a lot of the viewers probably have from TikTok. That's the only difference I can think of that means that his streams get botted way more than most people's. Either way, is a little cooked. Is a little cooked. Watched it, and just the N-word. Yeah, that is also true. That is a fair point. It's kind of wild the amount of people that actually think that's funny. Like, it is actually kind of wild. Oh wait, I have forest whispers. Hold on. HOTF. Where did I get that many from? Contest. Efficient forager or sweep? I feel like I really don't need more sweep, is the thing. Like, I feel like getting that... I feel like maxing this won't really do shit. Upcoming streamers still a thing? Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, short-form content is 100% the way forward. What for skyblock? No, it's still very much the thing. Short form. Did the big ATOR release? It is. Short form is still very much the method. Like, you don't have enough forest whispers. Okay, fair enough. You know, short form is still very much it. Says the guy who almost never posts short form. Look, I forget, okay. I really should be, but I just don't remember it. It's hard. Why are you in heaven again? Because it's too hot to not be in heaven. It's too hot to not have my doors and everything open. So I just have it. I just have everything. Like, windows, doors, everything is open. And I have still got water dripping down my nose. Ugh. Why do you not want people telling you your view account? Simple, because I don't like knowing how many I have so that I don't change how I act depending on the view account. Like, you know, if I have 7 people in the chat, as much as I may not want to act differently, I will probably act somewhat differently compared to if there's, I don't know, 90, for example. And so I just don't like knowing for consistency's sake more than anything. Always been the same. Just find it a little easier that way, is all I'm gonna say. You got a bunch of ice cubes in a bathtub, do a bathtub stream whilst foraging? Wait, that actually might be the meta. Wait, that actually might be the meta. Hold on. Get foraging whilst breaking trees. Wait, no. Get hypothermia whilst breaking trees. That actually might be the meta. Why don't you use a fan? I keep forgetting to buy one. I'll be honest. It's even worse. I went to Tesco earlier to buy shorts because I didn't have any. And I could have bought a fan while I was there, and I just didn't. I just didn't. I went there, I bought shorts, I left there. I mean, to be fair, is this part of the M7? It is, yes. Oh, wait, will be, I guess. Why didn't you just accept wearing a skirt? Because I prefer to wear shorts. And I have a handstand redeem on Twitch, which, you know, doesn't go well with something that flips up. Skirt when I remove the handstand and push-up redeem. Do you refuse wash your shorts? No, I just only had one pair of shorts and I didn't realize. I threw them all out after last year because they were getting a little rank, a little old. So I pretty much threw out all of my shorts after last year. And didn't realize there was only one pair left. And therefore, I had to go and buy new shorts. There's a little puddle underneath my chair from sweat. It's been 20 minutes. He's foraging again? I mean, yeah, of course. I haven't hit Heart of the Forest 6 yet. I do not get that much time to play off stream. And so we're stuck here. We're stuck here breaking trees. Pretty much doing the whole progression on stream. Oh, by the way, chat, because I was thinking about reducing the amount of series uploads per week, and like bringing down like the actual series uploads to like once a week, and just uploading a bunch of other videos throughout the week as well. I was thinking I might start commissioning Willy for all of the series videos thumbnails. Are you not doing load Sator? No. I haven't done fishing on this profile. I don't have any fishing gear. So what happened to chill shards? What do you mean? I need Heart of the Forest 6 to actually properly hunt. Chill shards are good, don't get me wrong, but when you're under 100 hunting fortune, things just aren't that good. Like anything under 100 hunting fortune isn't great. Any money-making methods in the Lotus Atoll? I mean, I think there's a couple now. Pretty sure there's a few good ones. Look up fucking anime schedule. What? How'd you get most Heart of the Forest XP? You just break fig trees. Wow, okay. Everything is gone over here. Yeah, no, you just literally break fig trees. Your chutness was good. How's it going? This is not a great lobby. I should probably swap. We got a group of individuals here. We got a group of people doing trees. It is not ideal. But yeah, anyway, having you Heart of the Forest 5 yet? No, we're about 50. We're almost 50% of the way. Yeah, we're about 50% of the way there. Look, I literally played like maybe an hour and a half off stream last night. I did not have time to do stuff. Can I send my custom beat now? Yeah, I mean, if it's off cooldown. Look, man, I can't play off stream that much. I really can't, I really just don't have the time to play off stream. Sweeps seem too low to be Heart of the Forest 5? Yeah. I just can't, physically just can't play much off stream. You found overgrown grass? Since when is this thing? Good question, actually. Think about doing any fishing related series? Possibly. It depends on how Guardian Slayer functions. To be honest with you. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I mean, Guardian Slayer has the potential to be really cool. I'm probably going to make a video tomorrow for talking about Guardian Slayer and what I want in it. Or what would be cool to see. I think it's possibly one of the Slayers that has the most potential going into it. Despite it, you know, obviously not going to be the hardest one, but I think Guardian is probably the single Slayer that has the most potential going into it. Checked how many camera shards you got? Oh, no, I haven't. Probably 0. 2. I hope it's not a fishing Slayer. I hope it is a fishing Slayer. A fishing Slayer actually sounds awesome. Did you get hunting XP from Heart of the Forest? No. They're two completely different skills. Heart of the Forest just has a perk that gives hunting fortune in it. Like, what would it even give? Fishing XP? Ideally, the main weapon would be a trident. Boss drops and crafts. I feel like you're thinking of it too linearly. Just because the actual Slayer itself is based around fishing, does not mean all of its drops have to be fishing related. Maybe it brings you underwater and you gotta escape before you drown. Whilst that would be cool, it would get old. Played Forza Horizon? I have not. But yeah, like, whilst it would be really cool, I think it would get really old. My thoughts for the gun Slayer is you should kill sea creatures for the Slayer instead of regular mobs. So, I have similar thoughts, but slightly different. The way that I want to see it is, I want to see Guardian Slayer introduce spearfishing as a mechanic. And have kind of the first spearfishing mob be Guardians. You know, you go around, you kill Guardians, you can stab them, you can spear them. The actual Slayer weapon being a Guardian, allowing you to use something like Riptide, for example, underwater. Instead of having to just throw spears at the Guardians, you can now Riptide through the Guardians. You can now Riptide through them, and that allows you to move around and spawn a little bit faster even underwater. Like, that would be awesome. Did I say Slayer weapon being Guardian? My bad, I meant Slayer weapon being a Trident. Like, that would be so cool, no? That'd be so cool. Spearfishing being a thing would be cool in of itself. Like, that would be awesome in of itself. But being able to use a Riptide Trident underwater to go around and kill Guardians to spawn the boss would also be pretty damn cool. Like, that would also be awesome. Unfortunately, I don't think Hypixel is going to add spearfishing. Have you played Forza Horizon 6? I have not. Once again, I don't get the... I barely have the time to play Skyblock off stream. I do not have the time to play other games, full stop. Like, Vesper Cutie with the tier 1? Oh, 5 months is pretty damn good. How's it going? How you handling the heat? Terrible. Terrible. My back is so wet. My back is actually so wet. Just quit college is overrated? No, not college. College has nothing to do with me not having enough time. It's YouTube is the reason I don't have enough time. I am not at college at all this week. College has nothing to do with it. That college is such a small amount of my time that I spend doing stuff per week. Let's say I stream for 3 hours of a day, right? I stream for 3 hours. Then I've got to take time getting a lot of those clips together. I've got to take time editing. I've got to take time, depending on the actual video, I've got to take time choosing how I want those clips to be formatted, the order that I want them to go in, how I want that to play into the overall story of said video or series going forwards. Make sure I choose the music that fits correctly with it, which is something more recently, to be fair. And once that's done, gotta make a thumbnail. Once that's done, yeah, once the thumbnail's done, I get to start work on the next video. Because, well, yeah, once I finish one video, it's pretty much straight on to the next one. Granted, things that are outside of the series don't take that long to edit. They only take like 4 or 5 hours to record and to do the whole process from recording to posting. Only takes about 4 or 5 hours total. So it's not like anything outside of these series isn't too bad. But the actual series videos take ages. Watching about 3 days and now I'm subscribed because I like your content. Well, thank you very much. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. How is it going? When do you usually go live? I usually try to go live about 2 PM UK time. That being said, with the heat at the moment, it's 50-50 on whether I even do go live or not. Like, it's really hot. Really, really hot. I wonder if my camera picks... It does not. My camera does not pick up how sweaty I am, but kind of does. I'm shiny. But yeah, it's so hot. Actually, that being said, it's not as hot as it was yesterday. Yesterday was 40-something degrees. Today is... We're down to 35 in my room today. That's pretty nice. We're down to 35 today. That's not too bad. Survivable. That breeze is actually saving me. Which part of the UK? I'm not going to say that much, I'm afraid. Crafton's Figstone Splitters. Oh, thank you. Oh. It just dripped. Hold on. My apologies. Read the dedication. Most people would just not bother streaming. I need footage. I could just not stream, but then I wouldn't really have footage for the next YouTube video. And since I like... I mean, I could just pretty much make an entire video without streaming, or an entire episode without streaming, but then that kind of just doesn't fit. Then it doesn't fit in with the rest of them. This profile will probably take a total of just over 3 weeks, I'm thinking. Makes the most sense to me. I am not naked. I am... turn your eyes on. Turn your eyes on. Okay, plus 7. Okay. Just 3? I don't think it'll take that long. Honestly, I really don't. Like, once I'm done with Heart of the Forest 6, it'll take me about a week to get all of the rest of the money. And then about a week to finish the dungeons. When are you next abusing pigs? I probably won't be. Unfortunately, the event doesn't come round for another, what, 4 months? Song request? Shit, my bad. Order. There you go. Hard for a 6 grand? Hard for a 6 grand. We are locked in. You doing dungeons with carries? No. No carries, no carries. That'd be a little boring. Come on now. I've got to show off my talent. As we were saying. As we were saying. At this point, you could probably start using the route. If anything, I'll learn it off stream. I don't think learning it on stream would really work, considering I don't look at my screen a lot. I spend most of my time looking at chat. Although I guess then again, chat's probably not going to be that active today, considering we've got some big names live. Yeah, we got some big names live. Watch him die in entrance. Okay, that's going too far. That's going too far. Not entrance. Floor 1 maybe. I spent 5 minutes on this song. Hopefully you like it. You did not make this song. Show off my talents as he misses 4 axe throws. No, it was targeted. I meant to do it. I meant to do it. Okay, in my defense though, I feel like the axes should have hit, no? In my defense, the axes, I feel like they should have hit. They look like they should have hit in my eyes. I don't have very good eyesight. Clearly. Hitbox on branches are broken, yes, exactly. I can come up with shot on the piano, so it's not hard. Okay, yeah, but this is Billy Joel. I don't think I know they didn't make this song in 5 minutes. So Hunting and dungeons, do you have any other skills planned for this profile? You'll just have to wait and see. Not in this series. Not for this series. Really. Maybe. You'll have to wait and see. Next request will be my song. Bet. Look forward to it. Is it not on YouTube because of copyright? It is not, yes. I have my audio split between YouTube and Twitch. Anything that's played on Spotify does not get played, can't be heard by YouTube, and can only be heard by Twitch. You take YouTube links, provided it's non-copyright. I don't really want to make that a consistent thing, though. So, it's more of a exception. Like a singular exception. You meant it, but now have now I have money and need more. So what's a cheap money making method? Hunting. I mean, chill hunting, invisible hunting. Depending on what you consider as cheap, foraging with pet leveling is not that expensive. Skyblock is officially dead. This player count is wild. I would not call it dead, considering I'm currently playing on the server. A game's not dead until it's not played anymore. Skyblock is very much alive. Do you think multiplayers are still worth hunting? Provided you sell them out of season, yes. 15,000 players. That's quite a lot. 15,000 players for an update that a lot of people were not excited for. It's quite a lot. You need Heart of the Forest 6 to effectively begin hunting? I would recommend it, yes. You can technically just about buy your way to 100 hunting fortune. But Heart of the Forest 6 is just the easier way and better way of doing it. Update day, 15k players. What, for an update that no one really wanted? That's pretty good in my book. I would just like to remind you that Skyblock has consistently more players than Destiny 2. I'm aware that Destiny 2 is now end of service, or end of life. But Skyblock's had consistently more players for quite a while. I just want to mention that. When does Suncrest come back? It's on a 15-minute cooldown. Quite literally dead. Yes, it is. But I don't think it's fair to call Skyblock dead. It's still very much alive. It has a, yes, small, but still very much living player base. There are still people that very much enjoy the game and play it regularly. For a long time. Addicted people, yes. Okay, that doesn't matter. That doesn't mean anything, though. I don't see what the difference between addicted people, what that matters. Does it matter if the players are addicted or not? Does that matter at all? They're still playing the game, no? If it doesn't matter if the players are addicted or not. They're still playing. Like, my point is, you can't call a game dead if it's still got a fairly strong core player base. With a lot of people in. Considering it is a Minecraft MMO RPG, like... Skyblock's doing pretty well still. Suction of new players is close to none. The less new players, the faster a game dies. Correct, it's not dead though. My point is, it's still not dead. Yeah, granted that there's not that many players. There's not really that many new players joining. But it's not dead. You can't call a game dead until it's dead. Until it's gone. Until no one wants to join and everyone's just leaving in droves. Which just isn't happening. We haven't got everybody leaving the game. In fact, we have more people coming back to the game. Isn't a lot of new people, as mainly Skyblock YouTubers don't play, so only getting recommendations into recommendations for people who already play Skyblock. This is true. I'm agreeing. Like, I'm agreeing with this. Summer used to have so many Skyblock players on. Okay. Yeah, less people play the game. Your point is? I'm not disagreeing that the game isn't as big as it used to be. But like, your point is? I'm not making a point. You quite clearly made a point. Saying Skyblock is dead is quite literally making a point. To be fair, Skyblock does still have a shit ton of potential in the game. It's just about whether admins can actually use that. Dying, I'll agree with. Slowly, but surely. It's not beyond the point of no return, however. It's definitely far from the point of no return yet. I will agree with that. It is definitely slowly dying. Game's still in beta. It's not technically fully released. Yeah, that's just a moot point. Has been since Donut SMP. I feel like Donut SMP is kind of a pointless one to mention because Donut, yes, is significantly larger, but it's also on Bedrock, and is a very different type of game. Half of Donut SMP is just people just AFK players. What even is Donut SMP? Well, I mean, it's an SMP, of course. But it's kind of just, well, it's an SMP, really. Nothing burger, it's just vanilla, but with scamming. Real. 121 things to hypixel, they'd have triple the player count. Now, this might surprise you, but they are, in fact, slowly adding 121 things to skyblock. With every single update. That might surprise you. But yeah, every update we do, in fact, get 121 things added to the game. I said horror. They add 121 horror things. I mean, in Halloween, maybe. But I don't think that would work. Yeah, horror videos horror videos do really well. But that's different. Horror videos are completely different to an actual horror server. Especially on skyblock. Do you see they added load state? Yes. I agree that it would do well for Halloween or something. Equals people seeing equals people playing. Yeah, okay, no. You're misunderstanding the difference between a horror part of a server as compared to highly edited, well-made horror videos. There is a huge difference. Horror videos do incredibly well. I didn't say skyblock, I just meant on hypixel. Fair enough. Fair enough. I still think it would suffer from the same thing. Of people like watching Minecraft horror things because it's because it's made extremely well. They're fun to watch, not necessarily fun to play. I think is possibly more on that side. You know, trapping my YouTuber friends in a horror dimension. Those kind of videos, yes, they do extremely well. Because they are made to do well. As videos. Could utilize the Warden. A Warden Slayer would go hard. I agree. I agree. I don't know, for Halloween they never actually do horror game modes. I agree. I'd agree for Halloween. I think I'd agree for Halloween to have horror game modes added to the game would be genuinely awesome. Feel like it'd be questionable to add onto hypixel. The difficulty with hypixel is that you've got to still make the horror game modes applicable to children. Give me just a second on that one. Is the difficulty for that. You've got to make it so it's both applicable to children and older players. +13 is allowed. I agree. And gore. And 13+ allows blood and gore. To some degree. But most horror isn't just blood and gore. Blood and gore exist, but it's not good. The thing that makes horror videos good is the ambience, the design, the music, and the psychological aspect. Not the blood, not the gore, not all of that stuff. None of that matters. And that's the hard line to separate for children and older players. What? Bro has a rash. Yes. Does it? I mean, what? I am sitting on a chair. My back is wet. Yeah, obviously I'm going to have some colour. To Bedrock, because there have been more new players. They're too focused on Hytale. Hytale and Hypixel are two different things. Stop thinking of them the same entity. They are two completely different things. Hytale is not hypixel. Hypixel is not Hytale. There is no focus being there's no focus being diverted from hypixel for Hytale. That's kind of like comparing two Sony games and saying that. I guess you're taking it wrong, but it's kind of like comparing two like big studio games and saying, oh, this one's not doing well because they're diverting attention. It's different teams. It's two completely separate things. Hytale's already paid for its own development. Like Hytale has one, a completely different team. Two, it's already paid for its own development. Minikloon has not been in the Skyblock team for like 4 years. 3 years. And if they can even open the Bedrock port, it would be difficult, but it would be doable. They also killed pretty much all ways of cheating, and the only thing which kept high-end dungeons alive and profitable. That's a pretty weird take. Are those all the same team? No, they're completely separate. Separate funding, separate teams. Like, everyone's like, oh, Skyblock's not getting any updates because all the fire sale money is going into Hytale. No. No, Hytale pays for itself. Hytale already... That shit pays for itself. It does not need the money from Skyblock. Pretty much all ways of cheating. There's, in fact, there's still quite a lot of ways of cheating. Second, dungeons are still very popular. The fact that dungeons aren't very profitable has nothing to do with the lack of cheaters. That's more to do with stuff like Ananke feathers.
Marina's armpit hairs. I love Marina's armpit hairs. I love Marina's armpit hairs.
What the actual fuck?
Marina's armpit hairs. I love Marina's armpit hairs.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Absolutely not. Cheaters made way faster runs. Okay, your point being? First, cheaters still exist. Second, first, cheaters still exist. Second, runtimes are still fast. Third, Ananke feathers are more behind the, what'd you call it? Ananke feathers have more of an effect on the actual profitability of M7s alongside Aura. Aura and Anankes have had more effect on M7 than the lack of cheaters ever has. Also, I believe runs are technically faster now because of Dungeon Breaker. Could be wrong actually because of some other changes. But as far as I'm aware, runs are technically faster now. Can I have 1k back? Nope, absolutely not. What do you mean sadly most cheats, bro? What do you mean sadly? Why is that a shame? Why is not being able to cheat in the game sad? What? What do you mean by sadly? Sorry? Nah, that's actually crazy. Ananke feathers are great. Why? Okay, why in your opinion are Ananke feathers good? Like, why are they good for the game in your opinion? They're not good for the game, they are just good for me. Right. Okay. What are these points thing? The gamble points? They are stream elements points. They're completely separate from channel points. The two have nothing to do with each other. Yo, Chama, was good, was good. They are terrible and horrible for the future. Indeed they are. And 9K feathers are actually one of the worst additions to this game. Like, they really should have, at bare minimum, been soulbound. Like, they should never have been purchasable. That's something that I said when the update was releasing, that they should never have been purchasable. Like, making it so you can buy them is just actually stupid. Making them soulbound would fix genuinely half of the issues here. Like, that would genuinely fix half of this game's problem. Like, half of the problems with an 9K is just making them soulbound. Do you do profile reviews? I'm afraid not. Barely do Subforce F7 legit, or couldn't at all. Pretty sure we can now. Have you seen the Diamond guys? Yeah, they're great. I've been watching them since episode 1. I use an 9K feathers in Kudra to meter another 9K feather. That's an odd choice. But fair enough. To meter the flame dies. They just realized that they need 4.5x. Yep. It's quite, wait, what? They need 4.5, oh yeah. It's a lot. Slayer meters are extremely high. But then again, that's, in my opinion, that's good. Dies should not be something that you can drop easily. Did you like my song? Not in the slightest. Dies is something that you should have to work your ass off and hope and pray that you can get it. That kind of keeps the prestige and interest of them. That's the whole thing that I like about dies. Is that they're just absurdly rare. And, you know, you may never get it. Oh. My head's leaking again. It was hours of hard work and composing. What, all the 5 minutes of it? Infernal Kudra speedrun? Infernal Kudra is involved in the next series, but it will not be an actual speedrun. What up? There we go. Sorry, just had to dry my head. Real quick. It's free money for people who use Sky and Sky Honey to customize their armors. Wait. To customize their armors customize their armors themselves for free. Issue with that though is that no one else can see it. I genuinely don't like that because it just takes away the aspect of fun to me. I like to be able to customize my armor so I look different. I look unique. Slayer boss trading's still a thing. Kinda. I don't think Sven trading is as efficient as solo Sven, unfortunately. As far as I'm aware, solo is just better. Has the foraging meta changed? Since when? I need a time of reference here. I would assume probably because they want to dye their armor. Now and then wait 5 months and wait 5 months and 3 bill skyblock coins so everyone can see it. Okay, but you're talking about yourself and the fact that you're not in the stage of the game where dyes matter to you. Dyes aren't meant for mid-game players or earlier game players. They're meant for end-game players who don't have something better to do with their money. Personal favorite? Chills. That's the population of the game that dyes are meant for. Like, they're meant for people like me on my main account, back when I actually played it. That's who dyes are meant for. Like, people that have tens of billions of coins spare. Or make an absurd amount of money where it just doesn't really matter that much. You know, I had a piece of Celeste dye on my armor simply because I could. Atol's out. Atol is released. That could have been Divan's alloys. I mean, I had the Divan's drill and I didn't mind. And so, I don't really care, man. Oh, sorry, I dropped 1 in 100k per lesson die. I don't think that could have been Divan's alloy, considering that pearlescent dye drops from end mobs, and the Divan's alloy drops from the nucleus. And I don't think that could have been a Divan's alloy. That's not quite how that works. It could have. You never know. Yeah, no, with the spaghetti code of this game, fair enough. That you might have a point. Actually, fair enough. My bad. You win this round. You win this round, Mr. Piss. I kind of like that in Skyblock. It really is just you never know. Like it could be the most fucked up shit, and it's just like, yeah, this is how it works. You think they're gonna nerf hunting? I mean, yeah, at some point. They're gonna nerf hunting when they add more stuff to it. Like with the when they what you call it? All they need once they add more hunting fortune, then hunting will get significantly worse. Can you show your sweet breakdown? Yes. Alright, so we got this as the flat bonuses. Oh, okay. We've got this as the additive buffs. Yeah, we got these guys. Do you fuck with My Chemical Romance? Yes. Yeah, we got these as the flat bonuses. This is the additive buffs. Then everything else is pure fig based. Yo, Striker was good. How's it going? Or bring... I do prefer Bring Me the Horizon. I do prefer them. They appear more on my playlist, for sure. I think Scott will learn actual Java and stop using AI. Especially with how laggy I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe not. I don't know. We gotta actually get some decent updates first. Actually, to be fair, Load Satol's not bad. Bit short, but it's actually not bad. From what I've seen of it, it's pretty fucking good for what it's meant to be. It accomplishes its goal pretty well. Do you get sniped by copyright songs on Twitch? Nope. Provided they're not in the VOD, then all's good. Considering that literally everything that I play on this stream is copyright. And so, provided it doesn't end up in the VODs, all's good. Fishing is never good. That is your opinion. It's just how the skill is. No, that is entirely your opinion. Just because you as a person do not like fishing does not mean it is bad. Especially considering quite a lot of people do in fact really like fishing. That being said, I would like to see more fishing methods in the game. I would like to see fishing expanded beyond just throwing a rod. What's your favorite skill? I mean, obviously it's Slayer, but that's not really a skill. The Slayer portion of combat is what I would say. That being said, I personally actually really do like fishing. Fishing or foraging, I like both of those a lot. I find them pretty fun. Jump so much to 60, I just never know. Could be something. Could be certain shards being manipulated. I don't know. It's obviously a very. We're getting a new Slayer somewhat soon. Yes, we are. Guardian Slayer is the next update coming to the game, as long as the admins didn't lie to us. Why Slayers but not hunting? Feels like you're hunting 24/7. I hunt for the start of a new series. But Slayers are the part of the game that I actually like. If you scroll through my YouTube channel, you'll notice that 99% of the content is based around Slayers. However, if everything that I ever did was Slayers, then I would never get anywhere. If we're going to be completely honest. There is a limit to what I can do, and what I can create using Slayers. Hunting is definitely up there as one of the, when you pest farming, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Not a big fan of pest farming. Tier 4s at 8 seconds each for a core? You lucky shit. I like foraging, but it makes, like, no money. Foraging makes an absurd amount of money if you are good at it. Provided you have, like, provided you are extremely efficient at foraging, I'm fucking terrible at it. With good routes, foraging makes a lot of money. It makes a lot more than 30 mil an hour. Through pet leveling, foraging makes a lot more than 30 mil an hour, provided you're actually good at it. What about playing 007 First Light? No. I don't have the time to play other games. I don't have the time. I barely have the time to play Skyblock off stream, let alone anything else. I just don't have the free time to do that. Oh wait, my pet hit level 100. Shit. You tried drop shipping? No. Slayers to hype from hunting, instead of hunting for a huge amount of start money. Back then, I've seen guy who actually did Slayers to hype. Well, yeah, Jorgazo is the other person that's done Slayers to hype, and prices were very, very different back then. The game was a very different place when he did it. Is the difference. Also, hunting was not a thing. Hunting had not been released in Skyblock when he did his Slayer to Hyperion series. Let me think. Pet item. Yo, MCG was good. Worth running floor 6 for money. Nope. Not at all. I think floor 3 is the best non-master mode floor for money. Or floor, is it floor 5? No, I'm pretty sure it's floor 3. Might be floor 5, actually. I don't know. What's a cheap pet item? I know what I can do. Hold up. Hi, Zog. What we got here? That'll do. You gonna forage for money? Nah. I don't really want to. More than anything. Despite the fact that foraging is extremely good, I don't really want to have to sweat that hard. Especially not with streaming. Alright, buddy. It's time for you to be sold on the black market. Because I don't think you can sell these guys legally. Hunting chills? I have no idea. It's good in F3. Recoms. You can reuse it? I do have one. Damn, these guys died in price over the last couple days. It's still 10 mil. That's not bad. I'll take it. I'll take that. Let me have a look at lion and crow real quick. Okay, so 35.21. That is better. 14 mil. And then... Ooh. Ooh. Why are these... Why are they... Why the fuck are they so expensive? Epic crows better than legendary crows. Well, cock. GG. Guess we're getting this one's level 100 first. How much MP are you going for? About 850. Why didn't you buy a lion? Because it's worse profit? Yeah, you're not wrong. You are, in fact, definitely not wrong. To combat the pet, though, so it'll take much longer. Also true. You raise a good point. I guess we go. And 36 mil level 100. Yeah, that's 16 mil profit as compared to like 40. If it grows, okay. So the equivalent of a 60 mil pet, technically. That's true. Still feel like an epic crow would technically be better, no? I might as well just sell this guy off. And then, what weapon are you going for? Terminator. And either get something cheaper. Planning on selling forest essence when you get to cast 20. You don't need cast 20 to sell forest essence, by the way. You can just sell it straight off. So it's better than legendary. Okay. Alright, well, I guess I wait on some stuff. Also term or also only term or also hype? Only term. There's not really any point to getting a Hyperion. It's just a healing item after all. It's not needed. What's the temp there in the UK? I think it's 30 degrees outside. And we're currently at 38 inside. Hey. Nice. It's okay. It's not too bad. Could be worse. 19 hours. Ah, that's plenty of time. Hello, Elizabeth. Yeah, I know. Before anybody says, oh, Kismet feathers aren't the best thing you could buy. Yeah, I know. But, like, I don't care. I don't care enough. I'm 1 mil off, aren't I? Nice. Yep, thanks, game. Thanks. Just buy heat cores and turn them into magma just as fast and you get more. Oh, but it's just not as fast, though, is it? It's way slower. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible. Honestly, all terrible. Only bad. Backpack upgrades are the best. Honestly, I just get Kismets because I ain't not bothered. Let me grab that, and bulk climb the rest. Hello there. I'm not going to bother hunting you because you're an endangered species. And I like the environment. Wait, Hyperfield's kind of used after they've nerfed mage attributes in the foraging. Guys, actually killed the only good early game weapon. What? What, Hyperion? What? Bro, if you think Hyperion's been killed, then you're cooked. It is, unfortunately, still an absolute menace. It's still far better than it realistically should be. My phone's ringing. Like, it's... Hold on. He lives! I'm back! I've come back from heaven, chat. Chat, I've come back from heaven. I had to sign an NDA. I had to sign an NDA when I left, so I didn't say that, like, I didn't say what was in there, and that I didn't say heaven's real or anything. And so... Wait. Ah, shit. It's okay. It's okay, I'm just gonna have to go on the run from God. It's okay. Oh my god, Vespa Cutie with the... Jesus Christ! With the 2000... Holy... What the... Yo, thank you! How much is 2k bits in Celsius? I have absolutely no idea. But the number's high, so... Thank you very much. Much appreciated. That is awesome. Just sharing the love. Much appreciated. With hype, you could pretty much every part of the game, like E-Man said, is way easier than FD man. Yes, I agree. Etc. But now you lost over 1k matter and a lot of damage. Okay, but you can still, if you get a Hyperion, you can still get through pretty much the entire game easily. Like, look, I know, the hype yes, hype bit getting nerfed was a necessity. It was way too OP. But hype is still insanely OP. Like, it is still insanely strong. Need healing? Right click. Need to clear out a group of ads? Right click. High DPS on certain bosses? Right click. Crimson Owl's mini bosses? Right click. To some degree, even like stuff like Slayers, E-Man Slayer, you can still RCM it pretty comfortably. Gain 25. God damn. Wait, how much time? Do you know how much time that that equates to? Like how much time you forced him to stream for? Add an Excalibur, you do 2 terms, 4 dark, probably not. I very highly doubt it. Thing is what would make that good? What would make that usable though? Is my question here. What would actually make? All you need is like, you need like insanely good stats to RCM it comfortably. No, you don't. No, you really don't. You really don't need that good gear to RCM E-Man comfortably. You really don't. I mean, you need really good gear if you suck at the game. But if you don't suck at the game, then you really don't need that good stuff. I'll be honest. You shoot arrows straight at it? Yeah, that is never happening. I suck at the game? Krilishi. Just get better. But like, there's no way we're saying that RCM E-Man is difficult. It just isn't. Yes, it's more difficult than FD E-Man, but the thing is it's also a lot faster than FD E-Man. Gossip by Monoscan. Gotcha. Hold up. It's cute. What am I actually trying to forage? Bro, that is a wall. Where did my game go? Okay. All right, so basically, let's just go back a second here and have a quick talk about what just happened. So I got confused. I started trying to break a wall and my game fucking exploded. Take from what you will from this. However, if you're going to take anything, do not try and forage that brick wall. If you change Lottery for Luck of the Forest perk, you'll get more Whispers. I mean, I'm kind of chill with Whispers because I'll just get them as I hunt later. I don't need to max out the perk to be over 100 hunting fortune. I'll need to max it out. So I'll just get the rest of the whispers when I actually hunt. Easily enough was easily enough tier 3, but almost enough tier 4. But now I can barely get through the first hit phases. Oh no, the content is slightly more difficult. Oh no, oh that's a shame. Like, I'm not saying the hype is as OP as it used to be. I'm just saying that it's still really strong. Is my point. You do not need that good gear to hyper tier 4 EMAT. I wish I could prove that, but I can't. Because, unfortunately, I don't have any gear. First hit phase on tier 3. Okay. Your point being? It doesn't change the fact that it's still absurdly strong. Also, it isn't really that fast to RCM nowadays. There's a lot of overpower. That is true. Like, I agree. RCM is less for boss DPS. You can still comfortably go through Enderman Slayer with a Hyperion. But regardless. Do lion pets next, please. What do you mean? Oh, wait. I could get a video out of a lion pet. Ooh. That might be quite fun, actually. That might be a fun one. Oh, leveling them up. I mean, I will, yeah. But regardless, Hyperion is still best in slot for pretty much anything that involves clearing of groups. It's the best in slot weapon to spawn half of the Slayers in the game, including, but not limited to, Blaze Slayer, Enderman Slayer, and Tarantula Slayer. Decent Spotify being a decent DJ. This is my playlist. This is not my DJ. This is just my playlist. Why are you always with half your headphones in? So I can hear myself. I don't like not being able to hear myself talk. Despite the fact that I actually despise my own voice, I hate not being able to hear myself more. But yeah, hype being best in slot for half of the bestiary farming in the game, best in slot for at least early dungeon clearing. Out before master mode, obviously. But I mean, that one doesn't really matter because there's just other options. That one just doesn't matter in the slightest. I didn't look at current meta before soloing binding hype. I feel like you... Okay. I don't understand why you think hype is bad, though. Because it is still just the single best weapon in the game. Like, hype is the single best item in the game. Is the thing. Hyperion is not the best in every option. Like, it is not the best in slot for everything. Thing is, it's a jack of all trades. And it just does everything. Is the thing with the Hyperion. It is just putting half the game on easy mode. You have to do less work to come wear my Were ones. Ooh, Were ones are pretty cool. Do you want a Roots tryout? Honestly, I'm kind of good. I don't really want to bother with learning Roots, especially whilst I'm streaming, because I spend most of my time not looking at the game and just looking at chat instead. I don't exactly bother with trying to stick to any form of route. Hot Crimson 10-star with 80 mil Giant Sword just does a little bit more DPS than Storm with hype. On what? And how? Is bro trying to use a hype with hurtful or some shit? What? Opinions on lowballing. People do it. On everything. Okay, how much magical power? Wait, hold on. How much MP do you have? Genuine question here. How much MP do you have? 700. That answers the question. GG. Yo, that answers everything I needed to know. Yo, that actually answers everything that I needed to know. Bro, no wonder it's shit. You've got 700 MP. Bro, no wonder a hype's bad. No fucking wonder it's bad. That answers everything I needed to know. Lock in. You're trying to use a weapon too early. 800 to 900k from RCM hype. Yeah, that's really bad. Not getting 1,000,000 damage from a Hyperion is actually horrific. Like, that's genuine tragic numbers. If we're not getting 1,000,000 damage, it just simply means you do not have the gear to be using the weapon. Like, you don't have the stuff to actually make use of it. Like, obviously, if you have low stats, low gear, and all that stuff, yeah, obviously it's not going to be very good. Because you don't have a lot of, one, you don't have very much mana to actually utilize it. Two, you don't have the damage, you don't have the gear to actually utilize it. I think getting 1 mil damage is bad now. 1 mil damage on a Hyperion is very different to 1 mil damage melee. Getting to 1 mil from a hype is a lot easier than getting to 1 mil melee. But yes, this game is very different. Melee damage we can hit, like, what? On Enderman Slayer specifically, I was unbuffed, I was getting like 11 million damage. On normal mobs, I think I could go up to like 5 or 6 million. This game is ridiculous. 700 MP is fairly decent. Not for a hype, for early game. You're not meant to have a Hyperion at that stage, brother. Counting Frosty? No, that's 11 million damage on one click. Like, one damage number. Like, brother, you shouldn't have a hype at this stage in the game. Obviously, it's going to be bad. Hypixel's not a game where big sword better. Hypixel is a game where you've got to build a foundation to be able to actually make use of things. Just simply upgrading your sword isn't going to mean the sword is good, if you don't have the stuff to back it up. It's like going into another MMORPG and trying to use a weapon that you don't have the requirements to use. Like, for example, what? As I said, I thought it was good and would carry me before. It is good. You just can't use it. The weapon is good. You just simply can't use it, is the thing. No item in the game can carry you if you don't have the gear to back it up. Like, if you don't have the foundation to be able to use it properly, nothing in this game can carry you. Think they'll use netherite swords? I hope so. I hope they'll add netherite to the texture pool. I mean, main use of a hype late game is healing. If you're not doing bestiary, that is. But you've also got to remember that spawning slayers exist. Can you make good money foraging? Extremely. You can make extremely good money foraging. Provided you actually, well, use roots and are decent at the game. It's worth just ignore all the small trees. As I said, I don't really pay much attention to the game when I'm streaming. So I kind of just break whatever I end up at. 700 was considered fairly decent back in the day. That's considered, well, considering we have over 2,000 magical power, yeah, 700 is not very good anymore. Like, obviously, yeah. Things change. As stuff gets added to the game, what was considered good back then is going to be different. Obviously. Yeah, we are over 2,000 magical power. Obviously, 700 is not going to be considered good anymore. Things have changed. Like, believe it or not, the game does get updated. Yeah, you'll have to drop a couple billion to get to 2k. Thankfully, 1k is pretty cheap. 1k MP is not that expensive anymore. Like, what 1k is considered as a fairly decent starting point for most combat content. And isn't that expensive. It costs less than 1 billion coins now. I think it's close to 30 billion now to max accessory bag. No, it's like 12 bill. Well, where did we pull 30 billion out from? It's like 12 billion. 12 or 13 billion. Like, it ain't that much. Return me to my sweet 2025 when max MP... Okay, but the game was just worse back then. Why would you want to go back in time to when the game was worse? Why would you want to do that? Just a money/time sink? Pretty much, yeah. That doesn't really make any sense to me. What weapon do you think I'd use a netherite sword for? I really hope we get, like, a goal on this profile. What's your goal on this profile? An M7 completion is the final goal for this one. Or this series, I should say. It wasn't worse as hype was OP. You didn't need to spend 12 bill on MP alone. Hype being that doesn't mean what? That's bad. What? What? One weapon being OP is not a good thing. That's terrible. That is horrific game design. What? I feel like it's becoming clear that I should just kind of ignore all of your opinions. You don't need to spend 12 billion coins on MP. 12 billion coins on MP is to max the talisman bag. MP was... I mean, yeah, what, 2025? MP was more expensive to max back then, huh? MP is cheaper now to max, what? Depending on when in 2025, to be fair. It does depend on when in 2025. You're gonna buy carry when you have a... No, I'm party finding everything. But, like, bro, the hype here... Easier to get a hype. It's easier than ever to get a hype, just not as easy to use it. Yeah, this is great. Was it? I feel like it was close to 10 bill. Artifact of Control alone in 2025 was what? 7 billion? How high did it get, chat? If anybody remembers. Like, a single talisman was like 6 to 8 billion or something like that. What dungeon mods will you be using? I don't know. I'll probably have to add 1 or 2 for some solvers. But mostly I'll just stick with Odin and Stella as my main two. Skyblock now is significantly better than it was back then, though. Everything is a lot more balanced. What's your current purse? Like 3 coins, I think. I don't know. Give it a second. We'll be uploading routes. Probably not, no. I'll prefer to just learn stuff as I go. 5.6 mil. Nuking pest farming outside the new honestly, pest farming isn't that bad outside of the feast, and honestly, that's fine by me. For the amount of effort that pest farming takes, it's in a pretty good state right now. Being in an extremely good state outside, inside of events but okay outside of events is pretty fucking good, but as far as I look at it. Temperature is hot. Bro, my desk is slippy. Bro, where my arms are, it is actually slippy. Minimum MP for F7 bears. Honestly, yeah, 500 to 600 is about right. That works fine. Greenhouse is a pretty good update in my opinion. It's a little OP. Greenhouse really needs to be balanced, but it is a pretty good update, giving another option to complete farming. You think of lowballing as a money making method as scummy? A little bit. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's if people are willing to lowball their items, then I don't really care. It's fine. If people are willing to lowball their items, then being the person who's willing to accept that is I don't really see an issue with it. Yeah, it's a little bit scummy, but who cares? It's not like you're like, okay, the lowballers who like try and give extremely unfair prices, that's different. That's different in my opinion. It depends on the lowballer. Like if you're giving fair prices, then hey, whatever, man. That's fine. Do you know what max sweep is? Like 900 or something. But yeah, if you're giving fair prices, that's fine. But if you're like one of those people that you see a Terminator in the bar and you're like, I'll give you 70 mil for it, and they're like, bro, it's worth 500 mil, and they're like, all right, understand, I'll give you 103 million. Haven't had to remember to water grow for 2 months. It does not take 2 months. It's like a couple of weeks. I don't know where you've got 2 months from. It's literally a few weeks. Bizarre flipping is the same as dropshipping. Kinda. But no. Your opinion on Rift? Pretty good. Genuinely good content. For your first playthrough of Rift is genuinely really good. Unless you use a guide for it, then it's gonna suck. Like, if you use a guide for your first playthrough of the Rift, then yeah, it's not gonna be very fun. Because, like, the whole point of the Rift is figuring out how it works, understanding the mechanics, and puzzle solving. Your second playthrough of the Rift is pretty boring. I'll be honest, after your first playthrough, it just gets pretty boring because you've already done all the fun parts. Like, you've already gone through the whole part of the Rift. The whole puzzle solving aspect of it. If you don't like puzzle solving, then you're not going to like the Rift. Like, you know, if that's not something that you enjoy, you're not going to like the Rift. Because that's kind of its entire concept. Greenhouse is definitely an update. Once again, it really needs to be rebalanced. Greenhouse is way too strong for what it is. Like, Greenhouse is far, far too good. I've seen 2 months on some Iron Man YouTuber thumbnails. Wait, I've seen 2 months on some Iron Man YouTuber thumbnails who are still playing this dumb game. Okay, so you're taking your information from a thumbnail. Are we 12 years old? Have we not developed the ability to think that maybe thumbnails might be over-exaggerating? Because, fun fact about thumbnails, they're used to get somebody interested in a video and to click on it. But that fun fact about thumbnails is they're not necessarily 100% true. Let's not take thumbnails as our guarantee. For example, it could have taken them 2 months. They could have taken them 2 months to do the greenhouse. if they, you know, spent a week on it, and then they just took a break and did something else. And then they came back to it 2 months later. A CBA to count it myself anyways, it's boring. Okay, so you're an idiot. Like, bro. We can't say stuff is fact when there's nothing to back it up. And a thumbnail is not that. Wouldn't missile be better because it improves axe throw a ton? Honestly, I just pretty much never use axe throw. Also, the axe came with this on. I can't bother to change it. Anyway, sorry, as I was saying. Greenhouse is too strong. Greenhouse is way too broken. Greenhouse is way too broken. We should not... It should not make the amount of money that it does per day. For literally nothing. It should not do that. Favorite Wither Blade? Honestly, Scylla. Not because it's good, but because Scylla reminds me of OG E-Man. Back when you basically required it to do the Slayer properly. Thing of V2 I haven't reached it yet. I feel like Diana was bouncing up before the update. Diana's way better after the update. Diana is so much more enjoyable now. Like, Scylla's pretty useless nowadays. It doesn't really have any good reason to use it. And listen to Lawnshaw, I have not. But bro, back then, the sussy Scylla was actually like peak gaming. Sussy Scylla was actually peak gaming. Only good thing about the Rift is the necklace. Once again, I love the Valk. I would love the Valk if it had use. Like, I think I would love the Valk if it was viable. Although I guess I've just said about the Scylla, which isn't exactly that viable, but more viable than a Valk. Has at least some more uses than a Valk. At high ping, ghost blocks were a bit annoying. A high ping is good for ghost blocks. High ping was pretty good for stonking. In reality, you actually wanted high ping. Low ping was in fact not very good for stonking. Low ping was pretty bad. How much foraging you got left? More than I want to admit. A lot more than I want to admit. Actually, to be fair, we're not that far off of tier 5, so... maybe not that much. Foraging, my beloved? Bro, foraging's such a fun skill. Foraging's actually just such a satisfying skill to play. It's so nice. Should I buy a Spirit Mask or just grind out all the floors? Honestly, what class do you play? Archer. I guess Spirit Mask is pretty good until you can get the golden heads. Why do you cut super tall figs? Because they are the most efficient way of getting Heart of the Forest XP and normal XP. The actual tree gifts themselves are significantly better than the small trees. The rewards are significantly better for cutting down the big trees. And to actually do foraging properly, you should just completely ignore the small ones. And only really do the big ones. What class are you playing? It doesn't matter for the beginning, but after M4, I will be locked on healer. Pretty much. Be sad if I didn't. I love foraging thrill. I mean, it would be sad if I didn't when I'm ranked like 2. Hey man, I've known ranked players that do not like what they do, and that's kind of cooked. Small pigs give different tree gifts than big. Yeah. Hold on, let me just get this one cut down. Holy shit, that was a diabolically bad tree. That was a diabolically bad one. Holy. Alright, gifts from this one. We got 9,000 foraging experience, 18 forest essence, 80 Heart of the Forest XP, 0 to 8 tender wood, and 160 forest whispers. I would like you to keep that in mind. Let me just go and quickly do a small tree. 3,000 foraging experience, 20 Heart of the Forest experience, 0 to 3 tender wood, 40 forest whispers, and 4 forest essence. So realistically, actually, it's quite a big difference between the two. Is Lotus Update out yet? Yes, it is. Also, what do you think about Spirit Mask change to drop from M4? Amazing. Amazing. It killed its price. That's good. That's good. That's good. It shouldn't have been expensive. It's an amazing change. Actually, an incredible change. That is not an item that should have been as expensive as it was. I feel like the time makes up for it. Not even close. You'd have to cut down 3... You'd have to teleport to and cut down 3 small trees to make up for 1 big tree. And provided you have a decent amount of sweep, and you actually play the game decently, which I obviously don't, you can cut down a big tree pretty fast. Do you head outclass the Spirit Mask? I mean, yes, for damage. Absolutely. Can you PV me? I'm afraid not. But yeah, if you actually learn to cut them down properly, you can do them pretty fast. Unless you obviously fuck up like that. Then it's going to be a bit slower. Spirit Mask is a bit too OP. Not really. Unlocks I4 early ends allows you to not die from a single random nuke that you didn't pay attention to. I don't think that's too OP. I think that's fine. Have changed for F7 since Dungeon Breaker dropped? Yes. I don't think it's too OP. I think it's fine. Do you not have a compactor for tender wood? Wait. That compacts? Hey, I'll be honest, I didn't actually even realize that compacted. Not so fun when you got some random goober jumping up and down underneath your tree, breaking where you're standing. Bonzo Mask is a mill. Yeah, but Bonzo Mask doesn't work outside of dungeons. Bonzo Mask doesn't work out of dungeons. But yeah, I agree. You shouldn't need it for base stuff, for early dungeons. I may just be being nuked by teammates as a tank, but still. Yeah, that might be it. What shader is that? Rethinking Voxels. A very, very big shader, but a very nice one. Okay, why did I not get teleported onto that block? I know it wasn't breaking. Hey? $300 of cooldown, while Spirit Mask is like 10 times less. Yeah, Spirit Mask is good, but it's definitely not OP. It's definitely not an overpowered item. It's very good. And it is a best in-slot item for certain classes. Definitely not overpowered, though. M3 or keep G head. If you're, once again, if you're, like, unless you're playing tank or healer or something, just keep G head. Spirit Mask is for, like, the, support classes. Gives fairly decent base stats? It does. But it's still not OP. I think we're forgetting what OP means. It's overpowered, too much, not just good. Yes. It is a good item. It is a best in slot item, but it is not overpowered. Like, it is definitely not overpowered. I know, like, people don't use roots because it's more sweaty, but it's, like, it's more brain dead and more rates. I know, but it means I actually have to look at my screen. Doing roots means I need to somewhat actually pay attention to the game. And, like, you know, look every single time I want to teleport to make sure I teleport to the right place. Which I just don't want to deal with, to be honest with you. Yo, Ash9, what's good? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Tank can survive without it, but it is mandatory for mage, burst, and healer. For early enter, yeah, it's mandatory for niche tech. Like, for niche tech that make runs faster for non-basic base teams. Like, yeah, it's not overpowered. It is good. And it makes small niche tech doable. But, like, it ain't all that. Can't get Melody's hair because I suck ass. That is not a reason to not be able to get it. Chat and foraging reminds me, I used to watch Reels and Forage. There. Got another piece of water in my eye. But yeah, just because something is used for niche tech does not mean that it is overpowered. Like, I feel like a lot more teams than you might think just don't bother with I4. Especially low kata. Or... Spirit Mask is too good for its price, but it just isn't, though. Like, it really just isn't. It's good, but it's not too good for its price. It's not OP. What kata's considered low kata? Depends on which floor you do. But if we're in M7, anything below 46. 244. So a little bit more than 50. There are currently 76 million coins for a clean one. Yeah, like, it's good. But it's not, like, 76 mil's fine. 76 mil is a fine price. For something that is niche. Spirit Mask is a niche item. What MP would you recommend for FDE Manslayer? 500 and up. At the end of the day, Spirit Mask is a niche item. Overpowered would mean it's useful for things outside of its niche. Of which Spirit Mask just isn't. Spirit Mask is useful for one thing and one thing only. Avoiding death every now and then. Funny little niche tech. MP is a bit 500 MP is a bit low. No, it just isn't. You can go and watch either of you can go and watch multiple of my series that I've done recently. 500 MP is fine. It's low, but it's doable. It's definitely doable. 800 tier 4s and each one lasts 80 seconds until I get core. Okay, GG. You can consistently solo at 500. Not easily, but you can do it. Folks at the drop rates of Spirit's Master with literally chest price at 15. I can understand it being too low. Yeah, but now it's fine. Like during the time where it was cooked, then yeah. But now it's fine. If you can kill it, it doesn't mean you can grind it. Or if he can kill it, if you can kill it, it doesn't mean you can grind it. In fact, it just does. It doesn't mean you can grind it, or if he can kill it, if he's skill issued. Skill issue, okay. Skill issue is not something that can't be fixed. I hate, it pisses me off so much when people keep on going, oh, I'm skill issued. Oh, I'm skill issued. It's too hard. I'm skill issued. I'm skill issued. Just get better, man. Just practice. Just play the game. It is not that bad. I'm skill issued. I fucking suck at the game. I just do things thousands upon thousands upon thousands of times until I can do it. Skill issued is not an excuse. It just means you're lazy. What does skill issue mean? It means that you don't have the skill level to, you're not skilled. You're not as skilled. Like, bro, skill issue is fixable. You just practice. You just train yourself. Talent isn't fixable. That's a whole different thing. But you can overcome that by just doing it over and over again. Skill is gainable. You Heart of the Forest 5 already? Good question. Should be close now. Sub 120 bosses kinda isn't good. Did I ever say it was good? Did literally anybody ever say it was good? Or did you just say that, or did you just decide to add in as a fun fact that it's not good? Because as far as I'm aware, not a single person said that 120-second bosses is good. On more accessory slots or upgrade current accessories? Honestly, go into the Discord and type in /missing. Use the Sky Helper bot. And honestly, that'll kind of somewhat explain it. What your next cheapest upgrades are. You know, I remember the scene from Far Cry 3 where the guy explains what craziness is. Yeah. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. However, it changes from being insanity to non-insanity when you start getting a different result. It's only insanity if you're not getting different results. It seems like insanity until you start improving. And yeah, people will... You do things over and over again to the exact same detriment and failure every single time. And people will start calling you crazy. And then you get better. And then you get better. And then you get better. And then you get better again. And suddenly you're not crazy anymore. You're actually just good at the game. You're just good at what you're doing. But 90% of people that are actually good at something are called crazy. 500 is decent enough. Yeah, it is decent enough. 120-second boss isn't good. It works. They said how much MP is enough to do E-Man, and I said 500. 500 is enough to do E-Man. It works. It's not a good kill time, but it works. You can upgrade if you want. Like, it works. Accounts for Jacob's slot prices? It doesn't. It doesn't, but you can do a bit of math from there, is my point. You can figure it out from there. Being ultimate in skyblock is just boring. I do agree with that. I'm not a massive fan of fully optimizing everything. I just do stuff for fun. When it's not fun anymore, there's no point in doing it. Heart of the Forest 6. It's probably going to take me about 16 hours. Now, I will say, if you decided to, let's say, upgrade to 800 magical power, you can go down to, like, 40-second boss times. 45-second boss times. Once again, depends on the rest of your gear, obviously, but you can phase skip at that number. 800 MP, Atom Split, Lion Pet, and Final Destination, you can phase skip the boss. Just to mention that. That is very possible, and I have proven that that is possible. However, consistent sub-60s are pretty easy at like 700 MP. Foraging 54 from 0. I have absolutely no idea. What kind of PC do you have? Fairly old now, actually. It's a Intel i7 10700K, 3070 Ti, and 32 gigabytes of RAM. I haven't understood exactly what phase skipping is. Well, it's exactly what the name says. It's skipping a phase. You're quite literally skipping a damage phase of the boss. Well, you're skipping a phase of the boss. If you ever see someone doing Enderman Slayer, and whilst the boss is in its laser phase, it has hits above its head instead of damage numbers, that means that they have phase skipped that boss. Because instead of having to wait for the laser phase, then do another damage phase, then do the hits phase, you do both damage phases before the lasers start, thus meaning that you just completely skip that next damage phase. You don't have to do it after the hits phase. You've already done it. You do 2 phases in the time of 1, basically. Moment is when the game starts to feel a little bit like you're grasping at what's happening, and you start enjoying combat skill stuff. Depends on each person. Dentist thingy worth it for tier 4 E-Man. It's good. It is probably one of the best talismans in the game. You do not need it. You don't need it at all. After Diana up, I don't know. I am unsure, I'm afraid. Online uni is cancelled for tonight because my professor fell off his chair and apparently has a broken shoulder. Oh, that is not a W for you. Yeah, that's not a W for your professor. That's kind of rough, actually. That's kind of rough on the professor. Damn. Using such flying a Hyperion. I'd probably recommend at least 1000 magical power before you get one. Because it's just not going to do very much before then. At that point, Hyper actually has some, will actually deal you some damage. And is somewhat functional in areas of the game. Obviously some reasonably decent gear and a couple of attributes here and there also would help. Check out the breeze is gone. Check out the wind is gone. No more wind. Just expensive healing wand. Late game, yes. Early game, no. Well, not early game. Mid game, it's actually a very good weapon. Late game, it just becomes a healing item. Is 1k MP overkill for F7? Yes. It's just a healing weapon? For late game players who don't need it. Because they have other things to do. But not so much for mid game players. Also, Hype is genuinely good outside of healing. I've said it many times before, but in terms of damage, it is the best item to use to spawn what? And maxed Blaze Slayer, Hyperion is your best spawn item. Enderman Slayer, Hyperion is your best spawn item. Tarantula Slayer, Hyperion is your best spawn item. Dungeons, we don't talk about. I'm sure it has some form of use. I guess LCM clearing. Oh, well, I guess Mage Clear. But, yeah. Bestiary, generally just your best in-slot item. It has uses in fishing. Kudra is pretty fucking good as well, especially for killing things and clearing the area. MP for tier 4 E-Man. I was thinking 1k is a really good number to have. You do not need 1k, but 1k is very, very good. It was good, not anymore. Diana is melee now. Okay, actually, speaking of that, chat, I'm actually kind of... I am all for I fucking hate the Hyperion as a weapon. I think it is frankly just an oppressive weapon that is too good for its own for what it is. But it's past the point where it can be removed now. Like I don't think any weapon should just be a straight jack of all trades and still be as good as the Hyperion is. Not much we can do about it. It's so ingrained in the game at this point. It's just there. But with that being said, like I want melee to be good. I really want melee to be viable in the game. But the way that they're making melee viable is by forcing you to use it. Like melee isn't better. Melee hasn't become better. It's not that it's been buffed and made better. It's that you literally can't use other things. Like you physically can't use Hyperion to do Diana fast anymore. It's not that melee's become better than the Hyperion, it's just that you can't do it. Dark Claymore was a sad attempt. Bro, the sad attempt is the Tormentor. And upload videos sometimes and stream, something people will watch. If you make good videos if you make good videos and good streams, then yeah. But like no one's just gonna watch if you just upload, well, slop. If you just upload shit videos, no one's gonna watch them, are they? You've got to actually make good content. Dark Claymore is actually good. It is good as an LCM weapon, and that's it. Dark Claymore has one use, and that's left-click mage. That is it. That is its single use. That is its one and only use. Also, is shit now anything that is combat-related other than the crown is shit? It's decent outside of dungeons. For what? What outside of dungeons is Dark Claymore actually good for? Come on, tell me. What mod tells you to sweep? None of them. It is just from... Your videos are good slop. I feel like my videos aren't slop. I feel like there's too much effort that goes into them to call them slop. I feel like we've kind of lost the definition of slop here. I feel like we've kind of lost the definition of slop here. I mean, some of them, absolutely. I'll give you some of them. 100%. But, like... I feel like we lost the definition of slop. Hold on, let me swap to my main real quick. You're assuming slop is bad. What? Bro, I'm going off the definition of slop, which is just low effort content. Slop is inherently, yes. It is, slop is inherently just low effort content. I feel like we're losing the definition here. Anyway, as I was saying, zombies. Claymore is not good for zombies because Reaper Falchion exists, and so does Halberd of the Shredded. Try again. You should check out the latest ATOL. I'm good, actually. I don't really want to rely on new methods, on new updates to make money on these profiles. They just killed Hype Mage, to be honest, right? There's no point investing in a Hype if you don't want to do some specific tasks like F7 or Crimson Lava Fishing or Kudra. Or Slayers. Or Bestiary. Or LCM. Only use Claymore has outside of dungeons is Ghost, not gonna lie. Nope, not even that, because you want to use a Gemstone Gauntlet. What do they do with Hype? Nothing. For Slayers, melee is better. Not for spawning them. Not for spawning them. Hype is significantly more efficient for spawning them. Hyperion is significantly more efficient for spawning just about every single Slayer, except for Sven and Rev. Significantly better. Spider is like 5 seconds faster to spawn using a Hype. Enderman is also significantly faster. Blaze is also faster to use a Hype. Granted, Blaze needs much better gear. But what did they change about Hype? Absolutely nothing. They just simply made more things melee requirement. Bouquet of Lies better to spawn. In what? For what? For which one of those three? Which one of those three I mentioned? If you dare to say Spider, you're wrong. If you dare to say Spider, you show me an average of 3 to 4 second spawn time with Bouquet of Lies. Excluding, cocooning. Good shards to fuse that make money. I'm afraid I don't. Referencing yesterday's video. Oh, my bad. That's probably would be a good thing to say considering considering the current topic. Does left-clicking a sword summons a beam or shit? Yeah, pretty much. Left-click mage requires very good gear and is a late game thing. However, in terms of game, nerf, there's no nerf. But steals like 1k mana compared to the old one. Yeah, but it also gives you a shit ton of damage. It also just kind of gives you a lot of damage from other things. Whilst you lose mana, yeah, but you know, you gain percentage of damage. Oh wow, 30% more damage against bosses and mini-bosses. That's pretty cool. Do 15% more damage when at full health. That's pretty cool as well. What else have we got in here? But yes, more stuff does require melee now. Anyway, right, I was on this profile. Where's my Tormentor? There it is. Look, they added Chain of Agony to Tormentor. Melee hits arc with cursed energy, chaining up to 5 nearby enemies. This is kind of... I feel like this is kind of their way of trying to make the Tormentor slightly better, I guess. But, like... It doesn't even reach... Like, bro. It doesn't even... It barely reaches. Hold on, can I kill... Okay, hold on, can I... Oh, it requires mana as well. What the fuck? Wait, it's actually shit. It requires 200 mana? Wait, it's actually ass. Claymore, technically, but neither of them are actually good. Giant Sword and Reaper Falchion and Giant Sword was slightly better, so it feels like Claymore would be even better. Okay, but Halberd of the Shredded exists for Claymore. If you have the money to afford a Claymore, you have the money to afford a Halberd. What? Okay, can it wipe the room? Wait, it's ass. Wait, it's actually shit. Wait, hold on. Wait, no, this is actually, like, this is actually just bad. Wait, it's actually just bad. But requires zombie at level 8. Don't start talking to me like zombie level 8 is even remotely difficult to get. Brother, you can get, it does not take that long to get zombie 8. Look. Okay, cool. Claymore's good until you're zombie level 8. Yeah, that makes it a good weapon. Claymore requiring M7 and being literally one of the hardest swords to obtain in the entire game is good for zombie up to level 8. Oh, it writes itself, man. Yo! That's not an argument! That's not even an argument, man! But yeah, like, Torment's just ass, especially when something like this exists. Bro, it's just so much better. It's just so much better. No mana requirement. No mana requirement. Like, bro, it's just so much better. All my profiles are dungeon rushed as fuck, and I have a few friends I can play with me, so Claymore's way easier. Okay, right. I need to stop taking your opinion into account. I really do. I really need to stop taking your opinion into account. How do I highlight Voracious Spiders? With a mod called Entity Highlighter. It is in Outcrow's Discord. I don't have it anymore. What did I join to? Someone trying to explain why Claymore actually has a use, with that said use being for Zombie Slayer, because it's better than the Zombie Slayer weapons up until Zombie Slayer level 8. Yeah, it's possibly. No. That's just not a valid argument. That's just not a valid argument. Claymore is just a better giant sword, which is already okay at best. Why do you have a giant tower on island? Why not? It's a good all-round weapon, but the issue is it requires M7. But realistically, unless you are dungeon rushed and only play dungeons, it just doesn't do anything. Melee doesn't do, like, all-round melee weapons are not good. All-round melee weapons are just simply not good. Slayers, you use the Slayer weapons. Diana, you use, Diana, you use Daedalus. There just isn't any use for an all-round Slayer, for an all-round melee weapon. This is why I keep saying that the best, like, the best non, like, specific weapon is Bouquet of Lies. Because it just does everything. It does so much. Bouquet of Lies is genuinely, like, whilst its damage is worse, you use it throughout the whole game. It goes from being a decent DPS weapon for early game to more of a spawning / support weapon for mid game. Giant Sword is kind of good enough for what, though? For what? Giant Sword is good enough for what? It's like, it doesn't have any use, is my point. It's just, like, for its price, it just doesn't do anything. I swear to God, if you, overall, what do you mean overall? It's bad in Slayers, it's bad in Diana, it's okay as an early Burrs weapon in dungeons, but, like, why would you want to play True Burrs when Terminator exists? Let's be real here. True Burrs just isn't good. For what? What are we using overall melee for? There is nothing that it's good in. There is literally nothing it's good in. Like, there isn't. Like, fishing, it kind of works until you get a flaming flay. Then you just use that instead. Is the bats in... Okay, do you want to know what's better for bats than a giant sword? Bouquet of Lies! Literally. Bouquet is simply better because it doesn't have a cooldown. If you spawn your boss slightly too fast for a giant sword, then it's useless. There are better things for Slayers, but it has requirements before you use them. Tier 3 Katana is better than a giant sword in Enderman Slayer. Unless you're not using the ability. And if you're not using the ability, then you have genuine problems. Pooch and Mastiff is better than Giant Sword for Sven's. Once again, unless you actually just have literal garbage for everything. But at that point, you should probably not be using a Giant Sword anyway. Just use Campfire Flaming Flay. Just use a non-enchanted Flaming Flay. Okay, what else have we got in Slayers? Spider. Scorpion Foil is about the same amount of DPS as a giant sword, and is better to spawn the boss than a giant sword is. What's next? Blaze Slayer. You can't use a giant sword anyway. Requires Sven 6. So you're going to use an 80 million coin weapon to get to Sven 6. Just use a Bouquet of Lies. Just better than Crimson? Yes. Just use a bouquet. Look, brother. Just use a Bouquet of Lies. What you have a single item that is better for spawning than a giant sword, and you have an item that does a good amount of damage anyway. You do not need a giant. Like it just don't need it. What? All right. Next thing the giant sword is useful for. Because I'm willing to debunk all of them. It is an 80 million coin sword that just doesn't do enough for it to be useful. Museum. Yes, I agree with you there. Yes, I can keep it and use it to read Zombie Slayer at 8 and 7. But my point is it's just worse overall than a bouquet. It is an 80 million coin weapon that is overall worse than a 24 million coin weapon. With literally marginally higher DPS. Like, actually marginally higher. And do you want to know what's funny? Is Giant Sword actually has less DPS on Spider than a Bouquet of Lies does, because of the Bouquet of Lies ability. You can just fucking spam it. That's a bit too low stats. It's not about the stats, it's about the ability. You can use the ability to hit the boss multiple more times. It spawns faster because of its ability. Its DPS is technically the same, if not higher, than a giant sword, depending on your magical power, because of its ability. And it clears bats, also because of its ability. Giant Sword is just not, is unfortunately... Giant Sword is the product of good marketing. Giant Sword is actually the product of good marketing. I don't use Dolkia, I use no frills. Like, genuinely. Bro, people have been saying the Giant Sword is the best, like, really good, OP, super strong, super good sword, really good sword, really good sword. And eventually people start, are just like, don't want to accept or think about other things being better. Stats are only one tiny thing. If everything was about stats, then Hot Tier Crimson would be dog shit. Because it's statistically worse than Necron. But it's really strong, it's got better damage because of Swipe. Nutara just sucks. It's overcomplicated. No, you just can't. Are we? Nah. That's actually rage bait. That's actually rage bait. What do you mean complicated? What do we mean complicated? Sorry? 400 MP and a Shadow Fury. And I do 200k. Is it good? Yeah, that's not too bad, actually. That's actually not too bad. What about OFA? Nah, okay. I know that one's rage bait. That... Right. That one I know is rage bait. That one I know is rage bait. That one I know is rage bait. Giant Sword is not bad. The catch is your stats need to be already good when you use it. But my point is Giant Sword is just so expensive for how good, like, Giant Sword is just so expensive for how actually usable it is. And by the time you have the stats to make Giant Sword actually better than its competition, there's no, then you don't have any use for it anymore. It is my point there. Like, by the time you actually have the stats to make it good, you're past the point of it being good. Or, yeah, you're past the point where it's actually usable. But I know that OFA comment is rage bait because, like, nah, OFA, man. Actually a modern day tragedy. That shit went from being the absolute, like, genuine overpowered best in slot item. Like, you could insta-kill old Tara with hype, but now there's a lot of weird phases which you can't really skip and make it fast. You can do Tarantula in under 12 seconds. That being said, Tarantula is a better boss than it used to be. Being able to one-tap a boss does not make it a good boss. It just makes it a random mob. It's not a boss. So you gotta remember, Slayers are bosses. Being able to one-tap them just means that they're not bosses anymore. They're just a random mob. Like, they're just a random guy that spawns less frequently. That's all it is. Having no mechanics, it's just faster. But it's not a Slayer. But it's not a boss. Like, it's not a boss. Faster doesn't mean better. It's just a random trash mob. Tell that to Tier 5 Rev. Tier 5 Rev's a little different in my eyes because it is literally the first Slayer in the game. And hasn't been updated in years. Back when Rev was released, it was actually difficult. Like, when Tier 5 Rev released, it was actually difficult to do. It's a product of its time. Egg 1 are just annoying. They are not that hard, brother. The egg phases are not that hard. Just use piercing and shoot through the eggs. They don't feel like bosses? They do. Okay. If they don't feel like bosses, then you might just be too far into the game. If Tarantula doesn't feel like an actual boss, then you're just past the point where it should. Where you should be doing it. You're past that stage. Tarantula is a hard boss. Tarantula Tier 5 is genuinely a difficult boss. If you do not think Tarantula Tier 5 is a difficult boss, you are past the point in the game where it matters. Vamps can overwhelm you whilst other bosses are just gear checks. Yeah, and Vamp's just a ping check. Alright. Vamp Slayer has its own issues, despite between being a ping check and its mania phases being frankly way too long. It is not a boss, it is a glorified Simon Says. As for me, I just wanted to get along with this one thing. Okay, so once again, we can't call something bad if it's just that I don't like it. Vamp Slayer is a... I do like Vamp. I think it is a good boss. Mania is way too long. Mania is way too long. How fast do you think you can get 80k Heart of the Forest XP? How much is 80... actually, I don't know. How much is 80k? But yeah, I think Vamp is genuinely a good boss. Just that Mania is longer than it ever should have been. Tier 4 Endermen feel like bosses. Yes, they do. That is because they are. Tier 5 Spider is also a hard boss. And if you do not think it's a hard boss, it's because you're not in the stage of the game where you're meant to be doing it. At the stage of the game that you should be doing Tier 5 Spider, considering it is a significantly earlier game boss than Enderman Slayer, it is really hard. It's really fun and not annoying like Nutara. You have got some strange requirements. Okay, so Tier 5 Spider makes so much money. They make some money. They don't make a lot. Not anymore. Okay, so Tier 5 Spider's too complicated for you, but Tier 5 Vamp isn't. What? What? Oh, nah. Oh, nah. Something's gone wrong here. Yo, something's gone wrong here. Only hard boss is Blaze and Kudra. Bro, Blaze is not hard. Blaze is easier than Enderman. Blaze is genuinely easier boss than Enderman. Yo. Hold on. What are we saying that Blaze is difficult? Nah, I'm sorry. You can do Blaze in Monster Raider, Vanquished Equipment, and Tier 2. Tier 2 daggers and like 800 MP. I'm sorry, man. Yo, nah. Bro, Blaze is unironically easier than E-Man. It has less mechanics to it. It is less moving around, and it does less damage. I'm sorry, Blaze is actually just easier now. If you were to tell me that a year and a half ago, I would agree with you. If you would tell me Blaze is harder than E-Man a year and a half ago, I would have agreed with you. Because back then, Blaze had mechanics to it. It doesn't really have that anymore. Nothing actually does any damage, and you just survive the boss with true defense. More true defense. Like, if you have enough true defense, you just don't die. You just wither cloak the pillars. You true defense it, and you just don't fucking die. Annoying to deal with that phase over and over again, but for Vamp, you don't need to do this amount. You just learn everything by timing and by heart. So what the fuck are you talking about? You read it wrong. Wait, as I said, it's just annoying to deal with that phase over and over again. But for Vamp, you don't need this much amount. You just learn every timing by heart. What do you mean you learn every timing by heart in Vamp? No, you don't. What? Vamp is literally the most reactionary Slayer that we have. You don't learn shit. You don't learn timings. It is genuinely the most ping-dependent and reactionary Slayer that we've got. What? There kind of isn't really much muscle memory in Vamp. What? That you learn. You don't, though. Like, half of the Mania phase is just pure reactions. I take away ping and it's insanely repetitive and pattern-based. Whilst yes, but also no. Like, you can't really muscle memory a lot of the Mania phase, I'll be honest. Considering it's not the same thing over and over again. Specifically the Impel. Impel specifically is just not, you can't learn that. That is entirely just reactionary. You physically cannot learn Impel. Because it's not a pattern. It is randomized. You learn the timing and it becomes very annoying, but Vamp adds a lot more variations. Okay, that's not what you just said. That is actively the opposite thing of what you just said. But sure. You just learn every timing and it becomes very annoying. Somewhat. I agree somewhat. I will agree somewhat in that. But that's also just a dependency on what you enjoy in the game. Buying a cookie worth it? Do you get your money back through bits for another one? Depends on how much fame rank you have and what museum rank. More fame rank and higher museum rank means you get more bits per cookie. If it's your first cookie, then probably not. You won't be getting that. It'll take a while. It'll take quite a while to get your money back. Programming language, so I can mess up grammar in long phases. That's fine. I'm willing to accept that. I am willing to accept that. That is okay. My squats? Wait, what? Oh, sorry. Stand on chair / table like you just did. How am I gonna... Okay. This is gonna be an interesting experience. Alright, there we go. There we go, there we go. Yeah, just kind of depends on what you enjoy in the game. Those are lunges, not squats. Okay, but I physically can't do squats with the specifications that they gave me, so. How many per day greenhouse do? I'm assuming you're talking about how much money per day does it make, and I believe that the highest it goes is... I don't know, actually. Can't remember now how much it goes up to now. I'm pretty sure you can still go... I'm pretty sure you can go like 60 plus per day. With some of them. Some of the possibly slightly less known ones. How to get fame? Fame rank is by spending bits and or gems. Both of them reward fame. Gems give more fame than bits do, but they both give fame. Oh, for fuck's sake. I don't like this tree. That one's an annoying one. That one's an annoying one. I don't think I've got any contests to claim right now, which is annoying. I'm pretty sure I've claimed them all recently. Actually, I mean, what? We might have like 2 or something. I'm starting to get too hot. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm going to have to go. It's getting too toasty in here. We are up to 42 degrees. We're up to 42 degrees in bedroom. It's starting to get too hot to actually exist. All right, Agatha. How we looking in fame rank? Oh, sorry, how many? Oh, hey, I've got 2 to claim. Nice. Bulk claim. Heart of the Forest. How are we doing in terms of 6? 3.1%. That's not too bad. Do you mean number 2? No, number 1. I am the number 1 forager. Clearly. I don't feel you. You're gonna fry your brain, you need to cool down? Yeah, it's fucking hot in this room, man. You forgot about me. No, you're the number 2 forager, what do you mean? You are quite clearly the number 2 forager. I don't think it's that hard to understand. Let me do that. I don't think I really want to get another level of Heart of the Forest. The rest of it can just go into efficient forager. That's okay. There's no need to feel shame about being the number 2 forager. There's no need to feel shame here. Best heart of the Mountain 5 gemstone mining armor. Mineral or glossy mineral. How do you change view model? / no frills. Then you use the view model setting. And customize it from there. Bro, I'm actually gonna have to get like some replacement bowls at some point. I swear to God. This shit's gonna get like, bro, it's gonna be like poached eggs, like like boiled eggs or some shit. I'm gonna have to get replacements. PV pre-posing. Look at wardrobe. You'll see the number 1 forager. No. I don't care. They can have all the gear in the world, and they'll still be worse. You are looking right now at the number 1 forager. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You are currently looking at the world's best forager, the number 1 in the game. Don't check the stats. You are currently looking at the best. Oh, mod is no frills. Should be enough, I believe so. I think Topaz gives powder buff, right, for gemstone powder, yes? Or is it just Jasper? I don't remember. I know one of them does. Stats to be the best forager. You've already got the best. Real has 20 billion of fig armor. That's nice. But like, you see, there's an issue. Like, your logic is flawed. Okay, you have some flawed logic here. Because he's not me. At the end of the day. And 600, I mean, mining speed on gemstones doesn't matter because you don't mine gemstones for gemstone powder anyway. Like, that's where you got the issue here from. Foraging YouTuber already for not larping about spider boots. Brother, I'm not I'm not using spider boots simply because I can't be bothered to do the Slayer. Look. I'm not using them out of like for some genuine reason. I'm here because I can't. I'm not using them because I literally can't. I just cannot be bothered to do the Slayer. That's the entire reason behind me not using spider boots. Is it trauma from the 5,000 tier 2s? No. I like Spider Slayer. I just can't be bothered to do it. That's all. I just can't be asked. Theoretically, do tier 4s with 700 MP, Vorpultana, combat 31. Yeah. You might want to pop on an epic Enderman or something to make your life a little bit easier, especially if you don't have something like an Ender artifact. But it's very doable. Very, very doable. Just make sure you have 82% attack speed. That is very key, very key. Make sure you have 82% attack speed. I should probably ask, what armor are you using? Like, are we going to be running the Hot Crimson or Final Destination? Because that will somewhat change my answer. So, summons help massively with tier 4s. Summons help insanely with tier 4s because, I mean, it gives you a chance to heal. They give you a chance to heal. I might buy an E-Drag. Okay, with that, if you don't have an Ender artifact, you might struggle a little bit with Vorpultana since you won't do any damage. Or, well, since your damage won't be very high. Honestly, I wouldn't bother with an E-Drag either. I would get a Lion Pet. An E-Drag is not as good as you think it is with your stats. Ender Dragon requires good stats to be good. I honestly, I would literally just pick up a Lion Pet. If you want a damage pet, just get a Lion. Ender Dragon is not going to be as good as you think it is. Wisdom slash refrig? Yes, yes. You don't need any more than refrigerate level 3. Wither skeleton is just not that good on Enderman Slayer. Wither skeleton is simply just not better than lion pet for Enderman. I don't think. I don't think it is. Pretty sure it's not. On 900 MP and a hype setup? Okay, but they're not using a hype setup or 900 MP. So, like, that's nice that it did that for you, but they're not using any of that stuff. So, that doesn't really matter. But that's cool. I'm glad it did. I'm glad it was good for you. Foraging month? Nah. We're foraging probably another 2 days, I think. I ideally foraging would be done by tomorrow. I just don't know whether I'd have time to do it by tomorrow. But yeah, honestly, I wouldn't bother with an E-drag yet. Especially not without an, like, I wouldn't bother with an E-drag for melee until you're like over 1,000 magical power atom split. I mean, even with FD, it's questionable, but yeah, I wouldn't bother with it until around that point. Zero build G-Drag is also good. Don't listen to them. No, ignore that. Just do not listen to that. That is terrible advice. That is awful advice. Do not listen to that. That is absolutely diabolical advice. That is diabolical advice. Post-patch Mythic Yeti? No gold makes G-Drag better, our advice. Real. Genuinely, the amount of people that come in and that actually ask me about Golden Dragon say, is Golden Dragon still good without its bank? Or like, I have a G-Drag with 100 coins in my bank. Why is it not doing any damage? I'm like, well now. It's probably because like it's like the thing that makes the G-Drag good is the bank. That's like its whole thing. That's like the whole thing about a G-Drag is that big bank mean big damage. And if you don't have any money, it doesn't do anything. It's one thing. Mining just sucks? Fair enough. Enderman pet is the most reasonable and best pet. Damage? Absolutely not. Enderman pet is diabolically ass for damage. Mythic is no different than Epic. Mythic is really good for spawning. That's its only use, though. Unless you've got like really weak gear and you need the damage reduction from an Enderman pet, then it's good. But once again, Epic and Mythic are the same. Only difference is that Mythic's better for spawning. Outside of that, if you can survive, a Lion is a really good option. If you have good stats, then E-Drag is also a really good option. I gotta go, bro. I'm too hot. I gotta go, man. Bro, my ears are sweating. My ears, chat. I have actual sweat in my ears. That's disgusting. That's actually disgusting. Why do I have sweat in my ears? Bro, I shouldn't have sweat in my ears. What the actual fuck? That ain't normal. That ain't normal. That ain't normal. Why is the inside of my ears sweating? What the fuck? That's disgusting. Go take a shower. Yeah, I will. I'm going to submerge myself in liquid. Anyway, over here. Bro, it's the side that's not got stuff in. The side that hasn't got stuff in is sweat. The side that hasn't got stuff. This side's sweating. This side is sweating. The other one is as well, obviously. But like, the non-covered side is wet. That ain't normal. That ain't normal. This shouldn't be wet. Yo, we got problems. My hair's dripping as well. Bro, this is actually disgusting. I gotta go take a shower, man. I gotta go take a shower. Goodbye, chat. I gotta go take a shower. This is fucking disgusting.